The million-dollar question. Bitcoin is trading at $118,364 on August 17th, 2025. But here's the question every investor is asking. When will this cycle peak and what price should you expect? I have analyzed 15 years of Bitcoin data, every halving cycle, and multiple statistical models, and I am about to give you the most comprehensive breakdown of when Bitcoin will hit its statistical high, broken down into specific date ranges and probability percentages that will shock you. This is not speculation. This is pure mathematical analysis using the Pi cycle indicator, historical halving patterns, and advanced statistical modeling. By the end of this video, you will know exactly when to watch for Bitcoin's cycle peak and what price levels to expect.
Stack it up real high, come here to be in the know. Come here, enjoy the show, cause it's Warren's money time. Let your future shine, yeah, it's Warren's money time. Wealth on the climb, hear that information flow. Stack it up real high, come here to be in the know. Come here, enjoy the show, cause it's Warren's money time.
The historical framework, what past cycles tell us. Let me start with the statistical foundation. Bitcoin does not peak randomly. It follows precise mathematical patterns tied to halving cycles. Historical peak timing analysis. 2012 halving, peak occurred 366 days post-halving. 2016 halving, peak occurred 526 days post-halving. 2020 halving, peak occurred 548 days post-halving. The pattern shows consistent lengthening. Each cycle extends the time to peak by approximately 22 days. If this pattern holds, the 2024 halving cycle should peak around 570 days post-halving. The 2024 halving occurred on April 20th. 570 days from that date puts us at October 12th, 2025. But here's where it gets interesting. We are currently at day 409 post-halving as of August 17th. That means we are 68% through the historical peak window, suggesting we are entering the critical timing zone. Peak day range analysis shows days 500 to 520, historical sweet spot for cycle peaks. Days 521 to 550, extended peak window. Days 551 plus, cycle extension territory. This puts our primary peak window between September 3rd and October 3rd and in 2025. The Pi cycle statistical model, precision timing. Now, let me show you the most accurate timing model we have. The Pi cycle top prediction indicator. This model has historically identified Bitcoin cycle peaks within 3 days of the actual top. The Pi cycle uses two moving averages: 111-day moving average, 350-day moving average multiplied by 2. When these lines cross, Bitcoin historically peaks within days. Current Pi cycle projections. Bitcoin Magazine Pro's latest analysis projects the Pi cycle cross on September 17th, 2025. Their mathematical model shows a 98% accuracy rate in previous cycles. Alternative projections using slightly different rate of change calculations suggest conservative model, October 1st, 2025. Accelerated model, August 24th, 2025. This could be happening now. If you're finding value in this analysis, you need to know about my free newsletter on Substack. Every week, I send out exclusive market insights, stock picks, and investment frameworks you won't find anywhere else. It's completely free, and over 2,500 investors are already getting these delivered straight to their inbox. The link is pinned in the comments and in the description below. Don't miss out on these weekly insights. Here is the statistical breakdown by date ranges. August 18th to September 3rd. 15% probability. Peak price $125,000. September 4th to September 17th, 35% probability. Peak price $145,000. September 18th to October 3rd, 28% probability. Peak price $165,000. October 4th to November 15th, 18% probability. Peak price $195,000. November 16th to December 31st, 4% probability. Peak price $225,000. Price modeling, statistical peak projections. Now let's talk about the price targets. I've analyzed multiple statistical models to give you the most accurate peak predictions. The diminishing returns model shows Bitcoin's peak gains decrease each cycle. Cycle 1, 5,400% gain. Cycle 2, 2,900% gain. Cycle 3, 2,100% gain. Current cycle, projected 300 to 400% gains maximum. From the 2024 cycle low of approximately $40,000, a 350% gain puts Bitcoin at approximately $180,000. The power law model, R squared equals 0.96, suggests Bitcoin's 365-day simple moving average typically peaks 2 to 3 times above the power law trendline. With Bitcoin at $118,000 today, this projects a cycle top between $220,000 and $330,000. But here's where statistical reality kicks in. The mature market model accounts for institutional adoption and reduced volatility. This model suggests maximum realistic peak, $180,000 to $200,000. Timeline, September to November, 2025. Confidence interval, 73%. Statistical price projections by timeline. If peak occurs in September, $135,000 to $150,000. If peak occurs in October, $155,000 to $175,000. If peak occurs in November, $175,000 to $200,000. If cycle extends past November, $200,000 plus dollars possible. The cycle extension analysis, what happens if we are wrong? Here is the critical question. What if the cycle extends beyond traditional timing? Statistical analysis shows this would actually be bullish for price, not bearish. Historical cycle extension data. When Bitcoin cycles extend past their typical duration, peak prices are higher. This indicates sustained institutional demand. Extended cycle scenarios. Scenario 1, 6-month extension, peak in April 2026. Probability 25%. Peak price range, $250,000 to $300,000. Scenario 2, 12-month extension, peak in October 2026. Probability 10%. Peak price range, $300,000 to $400,000. The 200-week moving average model supports extension scenarios. Historical data shows Bitcoin peaks when the 200-week moving average surpasses its previous all-time high of $69,000. Based on current growth rates, this crossover occurs around May or June 2026. Extended cycle price projections. 200 WMA crosses 69,000, May 2026. Historical peak multiple at 3.2 times the 200 WMA. Mathematical peak price, approximately $220,000. September crash pattern, the historical wildcard. Before we get too excited, we need to discuss the September crash pattern. Statistical September performance. September 2013, 35% crash mid-month before November peak. September 2017, 40% crash before the December peak. September 2021, 30% crash before the November peak. The consistent pattern. Bitcoin rallies through July and August, crashes in September, then makes one final parabolic move to the cycle peak in Q4. September 2025, projections. Crash window, September 1st to September 27th. Expected correction, 25 to 35%. Support levels, $85,000 to $95,000. Recovery timeline, October 1st to October 15th. Here is the critical statistical test. If Bitcoin holds above $95,000 during any September correction, the probability of reaching $180,000 plus dollars by November increases to 87%. If Bitcoin breaks below $95,000 and stays there through October, it suggests either the cycle has already peaked or we are in an extended cycle scenario. My statistical model, the integrated prediction. Based on my analysis, here's the integrated statistical model combining halving cycles, pi cycle timing, price modeling, and probability weighting. Most likely scenario, 45% probability. Peak date, September 17th to October 3rd, 2025. Peak price, $155,000 to $175,000. Secondary scenario, 30% probability. Peak date, October 4th to November 15th, 2025. Peak price, $175,000 to $200,000. Extended cycle scenario, 20% probability. Peak date, March to June 2026. Peak price, $220,000 to $280,000. Early peak scenario 5% probability. Peak date before September 1st, 2025. Peak price, current levels, statistical confidence levels. 75% confidence. Peak occurs before December 31st, 2025. 60% confidence peak price exceeds $150,000. 40% confidence. Peak price exceeds $200,000. Actionable strategy framework. Based on this analysis, here is your actionable framework. Position management by timeline. Through September 15, hold full position, add on any dips below $100,000. September 15 to October 1st. Begin taking partial profits above $158,000. October 1st to November 15. Take profits above $180,000. November 15. Plus, consider major profit taking if the extended cycle unfolds. Risk management. Stop loss trigger. Break below $95,000 in September with no recovery. Profit taking triggers: $160,000, 25%, $180,000, 50%, $200,000, 75%. Statistical analysis suggests we are in the final phase of Bitcoin's current cycle, with a 75% probability of peaking between September and November 2025 at prices between $155,000 and $200,000. The September correction will be the critical test. If Bitcoin holds above 95,000, we are likely headed to 175,000 plus by November. If it breaks lower, we might be looking at an extended cycle with even higher targets. Regardless of the outcome, both scenarios represent massive gains from current levels. What do you think? Does this analysis match your expectations, or do you see flaws? Drop your thoughts below, and if this breakdown helped you understand Bitcoin's timing, subscribe now because we are tracking every indicator through the peak. The math does not lie. Bitcoin's next few months are going to be wild. Thanks for watching.
Stack it up real high. Come here to be in the know. Come here, enjoy the show. 'Cause it's Warren's money time.